what's up YouTube? Let's get into this video. Now, I could imagine that you're probably a CEO, entrepreneur, high-level thinker, or even a busy professional working a 9 to 5. You've got low energy. You've basically just hit a roadblock in your life. You're trying to level up, trying to grow financially, trying to grow spiritually, whatever it may be, mentally, physically even, and you've just hit a roadblock. Now, most men that I coach as well, all my clients, they hit this roadblock, and quite often what ends up happening is they end up not realizing that it's because of a certain factor, which I'm about to get to. But what they end up doing is repeating a cycle that they're unaware of at the time, which is self-sabotaging their success by thinking that working harder and putting in more effort is going to change that around. If you're coming into your job with low energy, into your whole life with low energy, and you think by doing the same thing and putting the same inputs into your life, you're going to get more energy, you're delusional. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting a different result, right? Why am I saying this? Because you could be sitting at 18 to 20% body fat, as I was a couple of years ago, thinking that sitting at sub 14% body fat is difficult and is not viable as a career-driven man. Let me demystify a common misconception as a high-level thinker, entrepreneur, CEO that you may have, that thinking that sub 14% body fat is not achievable if you are a career-driven man and you've got different priorities, you've got a social life, you've got a family life. I don't give a shit what you may have going on. You could have a really busy lifestyle and still think that sub 14% body fat and maintaining that year-round is impossible. Let me demystify that right now. It is absolutely not hard to stay at 14% body fat year-round as a busy professional, high-level thinker, or a CEO. It is actually quite easy, and I'm going to show you how, because I've done it myself. 2.5 years ago, I was sitting at 18 to 20% body fat at 75 kilos. You'll see an image right here that I'll put up, and you'll see one image of me at 66, 67 kilos at 12 to 13% body fat roughly. And you'll see the contrasting difference in what I'm about to show you, right? Back then I thought I was low energy because I was not growing in my career or I wasn't putting enough effort. That was far from the truth. Once I got down to 13, 12% body fat in this photo, I realized the truth. Most men think that getting down to 12 to 13% body fat is going to mean that you're going to lose all your vitality, vigor. You're going to be even lower energy, but it's far from the truth. You're actually going to be higher energy, because what ends up happening is you're operating at a level where you've got so much clarity, you've got so much energy. You're not just putting food into your mouth for the sake of it or just for social gatherings. You're actually thinking from a high-level operator mindset, where you're thinking food is just there for performance, fuel, so that I can be cognitively sharp, operating at a high level in order to align with my highest frequency self, so that I can lead my team, whether that's leading your team, leading your family, leading your friends, your social circle, to the highest standard, so that you can show up and actually face any roadblocks that come up in life, because all life is just tackling roadblocks each and every day and operating at a high level and solving them to the quickest possible manner without too much fuss. That's all life is, in my opinion. And if you want to be a high level leader, especially as a man, you're just going to be solving roadblocks non-stop. It never ends, basically. Now, let me set this straight. Anything above 14% body fat is genuinely fat. I don't care what society tells you, right? I'm not going to sugarcoat it in this video. I'm going to tell you exactly how it is. If you're a CEO, entrepreneur, or high-level thinker, or a busy professional that's really committed to their career, anything above 14% body fat year-round is unacceptable. And I'll tell you why. As a high-level thinker, you need to be cognitively sharp, and that starts with your body. This is the solution that I give all my clients. You have to be operating with standards. It doesn't matter what area of your life. Every single area of your life needs to have standards, and it all starts with your physical presence, right? Your physical presence determines how you feel intrinsically in terms of how you then perceive yourself when you talk to others. So if you perceive yourself as someone that is fit, genuinely, you've got a nice physique, you look at yourself in the mirror, you're proud, that will translate into your mental reality. Your mental reality will be operating at the highest level. You'll just be sharp, razor focused. And then that leads into your spirituality, your financial side for more growth. Everything just levels up once you start focusing on your physical level or physical standards. And that's why I'm passionate about my Entrepreneurial Athlete System, because it's a proven 4-phase protocol that takes you onto a physique roadmap in order for you to be aesthetically like living your best life in terms of your physicality. But not just that, then it takes you through a 7-step framework that's designed to upgrade your fitness, your mentality, your mindset is just leveling up every day. Your lifestyle habits, design is all taken care of. And I just do this through a simple process where we're just aligning you each and every day through daily habits and accountability to make sure you're operating at the highest level and as an operator that you need to be to lead not only your team and your career, but your family, your social relationships, everything. And getting to sub 14% body fat is not difficult, guys. If you're a CEO, getting to sub 14% body fat is actually easier than you think. And it just starts with the mindset shift, setting the standards and making sure you're aligned each and every day so that those standards are from the identity of I am the type of person that is below or sub 14% body fat year round, so I can show up for my business, for my growth and for my team, and really set the standards for the people around me to see that this is possible. You don't have to go and be a professional bodybuilder. Not all of us are here to be a professional bodybuilder or a professional athlete for that matter. We're just looking to look good. We're just looking to feel good as well. And that can be done at 12 to 14% body fat with relative ease. You can still have cheat meals with your family or social gatherings with your friends at least once or twice a week without doing too much, and you can still maintain that 12 to 14% body fat rate. So there are no excuses for being sub 14% body fat year round as a CEO entrepreneur, even if you have a busy lifestyle. It's very, very simple. It doesn't mean that you have to live in the gym either. It's so simple that I'm telling you, if you're not sub 14% body fat as a high level thinker, you're not going to grow. I don't care if you're making $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month, you're not going to grow past that level, because simply, if you're not looking after your physicality in a sense of trying to grow that or trying to set the standards in your physical life, you're not going to grow in your career. You're going to only grow to the level that you've put in terms of your current position, and then you're going to just stay stagnant. And you're going to keep trying harder and think, why am I not getting the results? And it's simple. And I've basically laid it out in this video that it's simple as to why you're stuck, why you're stagnant. Now it's up to you to decide whether you want to make a change, and you can keep going the way you're going and get the same results and be my guest. You're going to just keep falling into a trap, or you can reach out to me via Instagram and I'll help you out personally. If you have any questions, I'll let you know exactly where you're slipping, and you can click this link below on this video, and it runs you through a free masterclass on the 7-step framework of how I take my clients through the Entrepreneurial Athlete System and how I get them operating at the highest frequency so that they can show up as not only a changed man, but becoming the undeniable man, turning them pro and making sure that they're operating in all areas of their life to the highest standards so that they can really just lead and be the leader that they're meant to be. If this sounds like you, click that link below and watch the free masterclass.